governor. We haven't seen anything like that since the mid-1960s, and in that case it was to protect students going to university in Alabama, and it was over the opposition of a segregationist governor. Very different circumstances here, and it's this deliberate kind of provocation that is only escalating the situation. But the president doesn't care about making it worse. He's more than happy to see violent protests. It gives him something to talk about, something other than his big ugly bill that's going to blow a hole in the deficit, take away people's health care. So for him, this is a wonderful distraction. But for the people who live here, this is anything but.
How is David Huerta doing physically, and how's he holding up?
You know, I've talked to David's family and friends. I think he's doing okay. It's obviously a very traumatic thing. And now that it looks like the Justice Department wants to try to make an example out of him, it's all the more traumatic. But this is part of the Trump playbook. They selectively use the Justice Department to go after their adversaries. It's what they do. And I'm here along with many others to show my support for David Huerta and for those that are peacefully observing what's going on and trying to get out good information to people about how to exercise their rights.
You called for an end to violence and asking people not to be violent. Are you concerned that that could happen again tonight? And if so, how are you communicating with local authorities and California authorities about maintaining control and peace tonight?
I am concerned that it could continue. I hope it doesn't, and it needs to stop. The people that are performing law enforcement are doing their duties. They need to be safe when they do so, and violence against them or vandalism or theft, all this stuff has no place in Los Angeles, and it should be roundly condemned. And I've reached out to the governor's office. I'm more than willing to do anything I can in my position to help maintain the calm here.
What's your message to people in Southern California that have been going through this?
My message is stay calm, remain peaceful. Let's not give this administration any more fodder to escalate further. People have a right to peacefully assemble and demonstrate, but it needs to remain peaceful. And certainly the folks that are being most impacted by this, that is immigrants who are being separated from their families. And I've met with the family members and talked to young children whose parents have been taken away from them. They certainly don't want any violence done in their name. So don't exploit the tragedy that is visited upon these immigrant families by bringing violence here. It is not wanted in any way.
Will you be at the 1:30 initial appearance?
Yes, I will.
The families
National Guard
not from
stoking
Friday
the
that were arrested Friday. The families you connected with. What else were they telling you?
Well, I've been talking to families for months now who've been separated, who've had their fathers separated from their farm workers, whose kids left this country when their father was grabbed at a random traffic stop or at a gas station, people with no criminal records, people who had worked in the fields sometimes for decades in the hot sun, in the cold night, through pandemic and non-pandemic. And these are some of the families being broken up when the president promised he was going to go after violent offenders, but he's going after instead people who put food on our table.
Have you had a chance to speak with the president or other senior members of Congress?
I have certainly been in communication with a lot of my colleagues in Congress who I think are equally offended by what they see taking place. I certainly have not spoken to the president about this.
Talk about how the National Guard here is stoking the violence.
Well, look, the National Guard that are here are following their orders to be here, and they've been put in a very untenable position. And this is the problem with calling in the Guard when the Guard is being called in over the objection of the governor, and that is it tends to cause the public to distrust folks that are being called in just to do their jobs. And that is just one of the casualties of this abuse of power by the president. And the grounds that the president has given for calling in the Guard over the objection of the governor are illusory. They do not apply. It's a fiction that the president is engaged in to try to overcome the lawful requirements. And all it will do is breed distrust. And that is certainly not what is needed in Los Angeles right now.
Will you be coming out after the hearing and talking to us again?
I hope to, yes. It depends on how long the hearing goes. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.